Welcome back, everybody. Tom Funk here with Trail Tales with another episode from my Million Hikes manuscript of my hike across Michigan's Upper Peninsula back in 1998. Today I'll be hiking from the Black River Recreation Area to the Presque unit of Porcupine Mountain State Park. And I'm sure you'll find that this is going to be a little bit of an adventure. Fun at times, scary at times, but I did live. So now that I have your attention, why don't we get started here? So today I'm going to hike 13 miles, making for a trip total of 33 miles. It is cloudy, humid, 75 degrees, bug factor is about a 3. Trail conditions, for a while they're marginally marked, overgrown in some areas. Then I'll be hiking roads up to Porcupine Mountain Wilderness. Wilderness can be defined as a place where humans enjoy the opportunity of being attacked by a wild animal. That would be from Edward Abbey. Of course, not having consumed any food last night, I had a poor night's sleep. I skipped eating breakfast this morning only to break camp, treat my feet to some moleskin, and I head to the harbor, where the North Country Trail is supposed to cross the Black River and take me towards Porcupine Mountains. Black River Harbor is a very clean, orderly park. A suspension bridge is observable in the distance, and according to my maps, that is where the trail picks up again. Walking through the park, I comprehend that I am getting an early start, beating the preteen girls out of camp. The suspension bridge is wobbly, and on the other side it looks like the trail will be a steep climb way up towards what appears to be the canopy. It's about a 400-foot climb, but thank goodness there are stairs. What a way to start your day. At the top I could see Rainbow Falls, which I'm pretty sure I did not see yesterday. The trail to the falls is a 4-foot wide, duff-covered affair. After the falls, this breathtaking trail is demoted to an old, unkept logging road. The trees have not grown back where the road used to be, so it should be easy to follow. The actual trail, though, was about 6 inches wide and overgrown with weeds. There are the frail, old plastic blue diamonds on trees to show the way here and there. But thankfully, it's a straight shot on an old road. I should be fine. The hike is reasonably even. Surely the road was put here for that reason. Every half mile or so, I'd have to cross a gully, meaning trying to figure out where the trail begins again. Successful in finding my way out of each ravine, I start to enjoy my surroundings. The landscape is second-growth red maple. Certainly this area had been logged over at one time. The undergrowth consists of clintonia, thimbleberry, and even gold thread. Occasionally, I would see some birch trees. The forest is about 30 years old or so, and it's probably third growth to boot. I decide to eat my lunch where the trail intersects with the road, and that should time me out around noon. I don't want to eat my food in a bear's backyard. I'm strolling at a good pace. I've probably made it 3.5 miles so far today without taking a break. So, it's time to find a resting place. Having only been on the trail a couple of days, I have not found my way into a break-taking routine. Hopefully by the end of the trip, I could be taking breaks at regular intervals. My first break would be a 5-minute break. To me, there's 3 kinds of breaks: a 5-minute, a 15-minute, and a lunch. A 5-minute break is just that. I don't take off my pack. I just find a spot to support the weight for 5 minutes, like a rock, a stump, or a log. A 15-minute break is where I will take off my pack, or at least unbuckle my hip belt. A lunch break is a total break. Pack off, eat, and even sleep. I like my lunch breaks the best. So I want to find a log, a stump, or rock. These items are hard to come by here since it has been a while since there have been any trees that have been cut. There are the sporadic logs over the trail, and I have to find one that is high enough for me not to contort my body to rest my pack. Seeing such a log is lying parallel to the trail, about 1 foot in diameter, and is about 2 feet off the ground. Perfect. I sit and straddle the log, facing the direction from which I just came. So I'm sitting there, I'm collecting my thoughts, taking a breather, and I am a little bit out of breath. I've been walking a while without stopping, and I can see clearly in every direction since there is little shrub growth. The complementary but scarce wildflowers are mostly past bloom, providing fruit to the wild residents. One such plant is thimbleberry. Thimbleberry has the leaf shape of a maple and the fruit of a raspberry. This is virtually the only understory shrub in the forest, and there are several patches of it around me, loaded with a bounty ready for picking. Suddenly, to my right, I then see two black fur balls run parallel to the trail towards the direction from which I came. They are coming up from behind me. I stand, quickly saying, "Oh shit, where's Mama?" The babies climb quickly into a birch tree, 50 feet from me and about 30 feet off the ground. "Oh shit, where's Mama? Oh shit, where's Mama?" Looking first to the other side of the trail. If I'm between Mama and her cubs, the trip is over. I am done. I wonder who would find me first, if at all. I don't know which direction to go. Common sense says Mama is up the trail in the direction I am heading. I start to yell, "Mama! I'm right here! Where are you, Mama?" Up pops another black bear. It is Mama, and she is on the other side of her babies in a large patch of thimbleberry. Twitching her ears and sniffing, she stands and checks me out. I wonder what she's thinking. "I'm right here! I'm leaving! Goodbye, bears! Bye-bye!" I yell and I wave my bottle and my walking stick, nervously walking backwards in the direction I need to head. "Goodbye, bears! I'm leaving!" I keep my eye on Mama, backing up slowly, still waving my stick and water bottle. My heart is racing. I disintegrate into the sweaty, frightened human. I turn my back, probably too soon, still loudly announcing my presence. "Bear! Oh, my bear!" That's what I'm yelling, running. If you could imagine that with a 45-pound pack. I am running. Shit, bear! Moving along at more than a jog, but not quite a run, I turn and look back. No bears. I continue to thrust my fearful self through the forest. I had said before I could go my whole trip without seeing a bear, and I would be just fine with that. Time is standing still as I continue to scamper, bellowing into the woods. My feet no longer hurt, my shoulders feel the burden of my safety instead of my pack, and I am no longer tired. Rather, I am terrified. I just want to make it to the road. I continue to yell as I run. "Bear! Oh, bear, it's me! Leave me alone!" I continue to shout this axiom over and over. I cannot get to the road fast enough. I start blowing my whistle, and I realize a failing in my retreat. You know, I did not blow my whistle when I was looking for Mama. What the hell is wrong with me? Use the damn whistle. My brain is still racing. Where's this road? How far have I gone? Suddenly, a rustle in the leaves behind me. I freak out. "Bear!" At the top of my lungs. That's what I yell. I'm very jumpy. I think I'm going to shit my pants. I just want out of here. I think I'll turn around and look. Nope, no bear following me. The forest does not change in appearance except for a few small ravines and a couple small openings in the canopy. I kept yelling out loud, "Where is the road? Bears, stay away!" Running, looking for signs that a road may be near, I find myself crossing crude bridges and I see tire tracks. I thought I would never be excited that a vehicle drove on the North Country Trail, but damn, I am thankful. Keep looking through the forest. Is that a road? I keep coming into a clearing, but no road. Forest, then clearing. Forest, then clearing. No road. I carry on. I am still running. All kinds of feelings are racing through my head. The thought, other than making it out of the woods alive, is how I handled the situation. You see, working at a zoo, I get to observe many people interact with animals that they can easily be killed by. Of course, they are behind mostly physical barriers to prevent them from escaping. Unfortunately, some people do not respect wild animals. Bear, for example, because they know that they are protected from the wild animals due to some barricade. I, however, have a profound admiration and respect for wild animals, especially ones that can dismember me. I know how to behave around them, whether or not they're out in the wild or in a zoo. Here, I have the opportunity to place a barrier between the bear and me. That barrier was not established well enough peacefully walking through the forest. I was too quiet. The bear did not know I was using the trail. I know I am taking a risk by walking alone through major bear country. I should have, and now I will, heed the advice of others by making noise as I walk through the forest. Right now, I'm going overboard, yelling and blowing my whistle. I've taken a risk, and the consequences range from not seeing a bear to being eaten by one. If I am ever eaten by a bear, I would only ask that my fellow humans would not persecute the animal for protecting its young, because I accepted the risk of walking in this distant expanse of woods. My wits are still racing, and it appears I'm coming up to what looks like a break in the canopy, and it's a road! Thank God. Coming in from my left, the trail is now on this 2-track gravel road. Funny, this isn't on my map. So the blue diamonds are still there, and I'm going to continue to follow them wherever they lead me. I'm now down to a slow jog. I am exhausted. I am out of breath. I am no longer yelling into the woods. I come to an intersection with a paved road in a matter of minutes. Gasping heavily, sweating copiously, I am dog-tired and still worried about seeing my 4-legged black friends. I have the protection of the road to protect me from bears. They wouldn't come here, would they? I notice a sign. Ottawa National Forest, North Country Trail, Black River Harbor, 6 miles. I've ran 4.5 hours. And according to my maps, it's only 5 miles. Wrong, so wrong. It's about 1:30. I'm still stressed, I'm sore, and now I'm scared. Now I think I'm hungry too. I have a feeling of exhilaration having survived probably the most dangerous circumstance in my life, face to face with bears. I take off my pack, my shirt, roll out my pad, and try to take a snooze. How could I sleep knowing that there's a bear nearby? Well, I do. About 20 minutes later, I hear someone sucking on a piece of candy as they lumber up to the parking area. It's Heidi. That trail is longer than 6 miles, Heidi says, covered in sweat. In fact, the map says 5, the sign says 6, I say 10. I concur. That's what I tell Heidi as I button up my shirt not to shock her with my less than manly torso. Guess what I saw? I say nervously. Bear? Says Heidi. You've got it. Mom and 2 cubs about 2 miles back. Heidi then points at me with this terrified look. Don't you dare mention a word of this to my club. They would freak out. I will tell them, but later, like after we're done hiking. Good plan if you ask me. I wish I had walked right by them. The bear probably did not know I was coming because it finally sank in. I was too quiet. I need a noisemaker. You ladies did not see the bear because you were making plenty of noise. Well, we're pretty quiet walkers, but 9 people have to make some noise. Yes, and I am all alone. I wasn't making a peep. I'll come up with this noisemaker. I'll figure something out. Maybe you'll see it later tonight at the campground. So my lunch lasted about 2 hours. So far, day 3, 3 2-hour lunches. Putting my pack back on, I plunge forward to my next destination, the Presque campground in the Porcupine Mountains Wilderness State Park. This is my daily goal, and now I'm hammering the pavement, and this is what I look forward to until I reach the campground. The road dissects a red maple forest, and there are no electric lines, but deep ditches, probably to hold the snow after it's plowed. Having fashioned a rudimentary but piercing noisemaker, I am ready to roll. My stainless steel cup, when attached to a loose strap on the back of my pack, clangs against the bottom bar of my pack. Clang, 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 clang. So much for solitude. However, I'll sacrifice peace and quiet for my safety any day. After 45 minutes, I take a 5-minute breather, and after a few minutes more of walking, I find a spot in the ditch where I can sit and rest my pack. I climb into the ditch and sit. Ah. A few vehicles go by, oblivious to their movements. All I see in my mind are those 2 baby bears climbing that tree, and Mama looking at me like I am her next meal. That, my friends, is pretty scary. As I'm sitting there, minding my own business, a truck pulls up, brake lights activating as it passes. Reverse lights go on, and it's backing up to my position in the ditch. They pull up to me, and I climb up out of the ditch. "Do you need any help?" the female driver inquires. "You don't look so well." "Well, probably because I just saw some bear." "Thanks. I was just taking a 5-minute break." "Okay, we thought we would check you out." "Well, thank you. I appreciate it, but I'm okay." Wow, considerate humans. Away they go in their internal combustion wheelchair. Walking, my cup is clanging, keeping me companionship. The weather has become cloudy, the road is straight, and I look forward to make it to the campground before it rains. I make it to the contact station, clammy, worn out, and aching. "Can I help you?" the teenage ranger asks. I have a hard time calling a teenager a park ranger. "Yeah, one sight," I say calmly, without emotion. We chat about the weather, my hike, and bears in the park. "How are the bears?" I ask. "No reported bear in the park," he says. Keyword, reported. "I saw 3 today." "Bear?" They pipe up. Pay attention, hanging on every word. "Yep. Saw Mama and her 2 cubs in the Ottawa National Forest on the North Country Trail between the road and Black River Harbor. I got the heck out of there." "Hey, what is the deal with the trail between the road and Black River Harbor? My map says 5 miles, the sign says 6, and it took 3.5 hours to walk and partially run it." "That, my friends, is much longer than 6 miles. They laugh. "That's because it's more like 9 miles, says the female teenage ranger. "Where do you register to backpack?" I asked the male ranger. You can do that at the other side at the visitor center there. You can't do it here," he says. Really? That's not very convenient. I guess I'll pay for my backpacking experience when I leave the park. "Where can I register for camping on the other end of the park?" "I may stay at the Union River Campground." "Oh, you can self-register at the campground," says the female register. "Great, thanks for your help. Enjoy your trip." So I walk half mile to the campground. I pick my spot between 3 large white pine trees right across from the bathrooms and a water buffalo. My neighbors, a family of 6, are on the end of the loop beside me. Throw my stuff down, and I say, "Hello, neighbors." "Howdy," says the man, the father of the 4 children running around the campsite. They have 4 kids, 3 girls and a boy. They have a van, a mosquito tent, and 2 small tents, and some modest equipment like coolers, stoves, and even a tripod grill. This reminds me of when I was a little kid, my parents took me camping. Setting up my camp, there are people walking by, more like ogling at my setup. If you think about it, I am a freak show. I'm probably the only backpacker, I'm probably the only one with no car, and the only person here with no tent. They probably wonder what the hell I'm trying to do, tying ropes to trees and draping a mosquito net. All 4 of the neighbor children are motionless. They're sitting there watching me like a horror movie transpire in front of them. They're watching the freak, which is me. I meticulously set up my mosquito netting correctly this time. My rope is about 3 feet off the ground, and so is the roof of the mosquito net. The wife comes out and notices I'm backpacking. She probably thought I was too skinny because she asked me if I was hungry. "Do you want some of our scalloped potatoes? We have more than enough," she says. She's stocky, curly-haired, and she's holding on an iron skillet with potatoes. How could I say no? "That would be great, thank you." I finally have my appetite back. I am famished. Before I cooked, I took a much-needed shower. This park has no potable water coming from a well. Instead, it has a water buffalo, basically a large plastic tank with a spigot. I boil couscous with red sauce. I notice that I need tomato paste to make my red sauce. Oh well, I'll wing it, supplementing my meal with some more black beans and rice soup. After eating, I bring back the pan and I introduce myself. "My name is Tom," I say, excited to shake my hand. Garcia, says the man. This is Cassie, Alicia, and the rest is a blur. They take a curiosity in my hike, playing 20 questions. I told them about some of the waterfalls, the 4 ruffed grouse I've seen, and then the questions start. Ask me what I saw today, was my leading question. Bear? Yes, bear, I say proudly. Now, 6 hours ago, I would have said bear with a quivering voice. Now, it's like a badge of honor. I tell them my bear story, and I'm sure I'll repeat my story throughout my trip. We also talked about the logistics of my trip, and we have something in common. Both of us have to check in with someone to let him or her know how we are doing. I have to make a phone call, and this campground does not have a phone. Would you like to come with me to town? Garcia asked me, pointing to his fan. Sure, yeah, whenever you're ready. Wow, that's great, thank you. Well, that's a good piece of luck. My current course is to take me along South Boundary Road out of the park into the Ottawa National Forest. I don't think I want to walk through prime bear territory all by myself, as I am still freaked out. I want to either walk with humans or on roads for the time being. The North Country Trail will take me through some remote and rugged terrain crossing the Iron River. And to complicate matters, there is not a bridge over the river. It was washed out last winter. We hop into his van, a big old Chevy complete with CB. I doubt a CB is going to do you any good up here, but you never know. We go to town, which happens to be Bessemer, about 30 miles away. I have to call my dad, and I called Don to let him know what was going on. We pull into a gas station, and checking my wallet, I notice I have about $8 left. Not enough for backpacking fee, let alone the camping a couple nights later. I wonder, what happened to all my money? Not like I have a place to spend it. Garcia calls his mother and some other relative, and I call my dad. Dad, are you ready to meet me on Friday? Friday? I'm not even going to be up there till late Friday night. Shit. I feel a sinking sensation. He has my first supply drop, and I'll be low on supplies by then. Dad, remember our conversation when I wrote on your map specific instructions on meeting me Friday night around 6 p.m. at Cascade Falls? No, I was going to meet you Saturday at Little Trap Falls. Oh, Jesus, this is all screwed up. I look at my itinerary. I plan on finishing at Little Trap Falls on Friday afternoon. Cascade Falls Friday night is where I want to camp. I gave him a map and everything. I don't know what to tell you, he says, with a hint of disparagement in his voice. Well, here's the deal. Oh, by the way, I saw three bears today. What? You did? Where? So I tell him my bear story. This is kind of fun. A survival story. Back to the issue at hand. When will you be here? I'll make changes to my itinerary to meet you. Well, if we get out of here on time, we'll be there Friday afternoon. This means we'll have to stay at a rest area for some shut-eye. This won't screw up your trip, will it, Dad? Where do you want me to meet you? I can hear the stress in his voice. Normally, a very mild-mannered person, he is not easily upset. He just wants to know where to be and when. All right, here's the deal, Dad. Friday, 6 p.m., I will meet you where the North Country Trail crosses Old M64. That is right by Little Trap Falls. This will put me a day behind, but you have my first drop, and I need it. If you get here early, drive up M64 towards Silver City to look for me. If I don't see you, I will wait at the trailhead on Old M64. Okay? Got it. You write it down? Yes, I wrote it down. He didn't write it down. Then I call Don. I tell him about the roots, the rocks, and I need duct tape, and I need it bad. I also need more moleskin. I also tell him about seeing bear. You saw a bear? Barb! Tom saw a bear, 3 of them. Again, I tell my bear story. I tell him that my dad and I miscommunicated somehow. I'll be a little behind, but I should make it up. Also, I will vary from my course walking through the Porkies to Silver City, then walking M94 south to where I need to meet my dad, where the North Country Trail intersects Old M64. Although my bear story may not be my badge of honor, the vision of these 3 seamless, harmless fur balls make me think twice about hiking solo through prime bear country. What is the harm to sticking to a few roads for now? I'm going to have to anyways because I have to deal with a bridge that is out over the Iron River. I slept through the night soundly, counting bears in the forest. Emails from Don. Report number 1. Date, July 20th. Tom is on the way. He hit the trail at about 9:30 Sunday morning. He told me to pass this on as someone out there will know what it means. We heard a katydid Saturday evening. He also had some nightmares Saturday night. One was that bears were chasing him, and the other was that he got sick and needed to get picked up. That is all for now. Don. Report number 2. Date, July 22nd. I've talked to Tom twice so far, and here's the report. First, he needs more duct tape and some moleskin. And he put Sylvia's name in parentheses. I'm not sure why he needs duct tape so soon since he took some with him, but I do know why he needs moleskin. He said that he was surprised that the trail was already like Isle Royal's trails. I'm surprised that he wouldn't have expected it since the Western UP and Isle Royal are part of the same geological formation. It's the Laurentian Shield, the oldest rock on Earth. What's this have to do with anything? Well, you may ask. Well, having worked 2 seasons in Isle Royal, I can tell you that it's one big chunk of rock with just a little bit of dirt on it. That means the trails are no idyllic paths on which you can saunter through the forest, drinking in the natural beauty around you. If you try, you'll be drinking rock. The trail surface is primarily roots and rocks, and if you want to stay upright, your view while walking consists of the tops of your feet and the trail immediately in front of them. Oh yes, he nearly got out-hiked by a group of 9-year-olds. He said that they passed him every time he took a break. He spent the night at Black River Recreation Area right on Lake Superior and said that as of 7:30 or so, it was 85 degrees. Last night he called and said he'd seen a bear, actually 3 of them. He was hiking along, minding his own business, when he heard some noise. When he located the source, he found 2 bear cubs. Of course, the first reaction of an intelligent hiker is not, oh, how cute, but, oh shit, where's mother? He located her and was relieved to find that he was not betwixt them. He then started yelling, waving his arms and backing up. After clearing the area and clearing his thoughts, he decided that maybe he didn't want to spend several days hiking through prime bear country. He found himself a ride and is now hiking through porcupines instead of the Ottawa National Forest. He says that he's still on schedule, so if you're planning on meeting him, don't change your plans yet. That's it, Don. Don is exactly right about watching the tops of your feet. If you have to, and if you don't, you'll be drinking rock. As far as the girls passing me, the youngest was 9 years old. The rest were 12 to 13. And the ride I caught was to make phone calls. I ended up back where I started at, which was the Presque unit of the Porcupine Mountains Wilderness State Park. So I didn't skip ahead or anything like that. All right. Wow, what a hike, eh? Bears, being passed up by 9-year-olds, hitching a ride into town. A little bit of everything. Well, thanks for joining me on Trail Tales, and we will continue this again as I hike across Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you again soon. If you have a question, hit me up on Tom's Worldly Adventures on Facebook, and you can also have me clarify anything if necessary. All right, thanks again, and we'll see you later.